Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Mayegun Live. You may have to open your book to the book of Lamentation, chapter 5, verse 5. That is where we're going to be reading from this evening. And it is the book of the NLC and the NLC scribes, starting with their chairman, president. Read the caption of this broadcast, the description of this broadcast. Read everything, okay? Then like the broadcast, share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell everybody that cares to know. Today. T-Pain, Tinubu's pain, painmenti, lamentation of the NLC. He fooled us, he deceived us, he misled us. Oh, Christ. Coming from the president of NLC. Not just that, it is becoming more hotter and hotter, steamier in Edo. Somebody escaped assassination attempt this afternoon. On top say they won't do election. Thank you. Mutide. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are tuning in this moment. This is Mayegun, and this is live to those who are watching it live on the clock. NLC President Joe Ajero, the man that has now become a laughing stock among, the supposed comrades in Nigeria. Usually, in the past, when you hear about NLC, every government, whether military or civilian, they always try their best never to be, to wrong the NLC so that they won't shut down the country on them. But this particular one is a total joke. He cries. He's been beaten, they've beaten him up, in public, all because nobody respects him. And I wonder why Nigerian workers are still keeping that guy. Sometimes in October last year, this guy threatened to go on strike if Tinubu's government failed to implement an agreement they signed with past governments, even under Bukwari. They will go on strike. Then they call the meeting. Oh, this government just came in. Give them time. Tinubu is somebody who like workers. No, he never liked workers, right? So Tinubu was somebody who liked workers. So he's going to package something very, very good for you. Please, give him time. They are working on it. So they suspended that. Fast forward to February this year, he threatened again. We were going to go on strike. He said, calm down. Don't. Because everybody will see you as an Igbo man. They want to truncate the government of illegitimate government of a Yoruba man. They played a tribal card on him. And he said, okay, we'll give them time. We are negotiating. We are talking. Then fast forward again. So sometimes in May, right? And they said, oh, we are going on strike. But they actually did go on strike. Then just that same day, Ajero and his gang were called into the Old Rock in Abuja, where they said they had reached an agreement with Tinubu. Tinubu promised them that, number one, you see this living wage you are asking for. Yeah, things are very tough in this contraption, of course. But I just came in and we don't have any money. However, here is the deal. I will give you what you want, 250,000 naira minimum wage. Or I am going to increase the price of petroleum products. The foolish Ajero, who actually lived in that same contraption like Nigeria when Tinubu removed the subsidy, right? Didn't kind of have good advisors to tell him that Tinubu, by that pronouncement that subsidy was gone, simply means that he shouldn't even be saying he controls the price of petroleum anymore. But fraudulent people and stupid people are leading millions of people in that contraption. Of course, Tinubu removes subsidy. That simply means they don't pay subsidy anymore. Well, whatever price people want to sell their products, they can go ahead and sell it. Nobody determines how much they sell it anymore. That's what subsidy gone. That's what it should mean. But because subsidy never gone anywhere, and the likes of Ajero and Co, boy, NLC, TUC, they didn't have the knowledge, they didn't have the brain to counter him there and say, what do you mean by, you will increase the price of petroleum? What do you mean? You no longer control that? Or did you lie to the workers when you told them that subsidy was gone? And you made them suffer for a whole year like this? So that means you still control how much people will buy the petroleum products, right? So that means subsidy is not gone. They didn't say that. They said that Tinubu told them that if they wanted the subsidy, they wanted 250,000 naira minimum wage, then Tinubu will increase price of petroleum. And they didn't want him to increase that because they felt like people will suffer. Not only the workers, including those who are not NLC members, will suffer. What the heck? So because of this, they now said they accepted a 70,000 naira, $42 as minimum wage. Because they love Nigerians. They don't want Nigerians to suffer. So today, Ajero has been beaten up. He has been arrested. He has been molested. He has been threatened. He's almost like a nothing, except the name that he carries about, NLC president. That means absolutely nothing, if you ask me. He is now in the book of, is at the stage, what we call the chapter 5. Chapter 5, verse 5 of the book of Lamentation. The guy is now out and saying they were deceived. Because from May to September, that's 4 months, 4 solid months. A penny has not been paid in this, their new promised minimum wage. A penny has not been paid. Tinubu promised them to pay some extra money on their salaries until they, they don't pay. Ajero and gang continue to tell themselves that they are waiting for Tinubu to pay. What the heck again? So today, Ajero come out and he said they were fooled. Tinubu fooled them. Tinubu deceived them. Because the price of petroleum has been increased twice between May and September 2024. Tinubu and his gang, they have increased the pump price of petroleum 2 times. Now, a liter of petroleum in Nigeria is being sold for 1,000 and more. And the workers that they promised 70,000, they are still waiting. A committee is set up to go and they call them a tripartite committee to go and work out how they are going to pay this money. They still haven't worked it out. Between May and September, Tinubu and his gang, okay, they've expended more than 60 billion naira on themselves. No joke. They've expended so much on themselves, right? Not appropriated money though, right? Ajero and his gang are now more or less like, they don't know what to tell the workers. So he now came out to say, Tinubu deceived them. Then what are you going to do about it? Nothing. Really? Nothing? Because he didn't want, he wouldn't want to be beaten. He wouldn't want himself to be beat up again. No. He wouldn't want himself to be detained again. Rather, he's telling everybody, the Nigerian workers, we are powerless right now. We are dealing with, deceivers. We are dealing with manipulators. We are dealing with, people who don't give a damn, and they will do everything to keep it that way. So you are on your own. That's what their president is telling them right now. You are on your own. Maybe you would have to. He couldn't even call out to say, well, if you don't pay also, we're going to no, they're not born and well. They've threatened him. He's an Igbo man in a country where tribalism is the order of the day. Tribalism has been elevated to the highest office in the land. Now, he is no longer seen as the NLC president. He's seen as an Igbo man. If he dare try to bring the workers on the streets, he will be accused of trying to remove a Yoruba man. This blackmail has now stopped. So why are you still keeping him? The Nigerian workers, why are you still keeping Ajero and his gang? Why are you still keeping them as your leaders? I mean, I would expect that before the end of next week, Ajero and his gang are removed totally from the NLC, TUC, and every other organ of your national, union of workers, so to say. But that would be me. Okay. So if the president of your union, who was supposed to fight for you, is now crying everywhere that he has been deceived and he has nothing to do or say anymore, other than for them to just tell the whole world to beg Tinubu to please pay us now. So he now said, with the new price of a petroleum product in Nigeria, that 70,000 naira they settled for is now a mockery. It's absolute nonsense. It's worthless. That's what he said. He said the 70,000 naira they signed up for with Tinubu is worthless now. A bag of rice is over how much? 90,000 naira. Some places you get it for 96,000. Other places you get it for 120,000 naira. Any country where we say the minimum wage cannot buy you a price. I mean, the price of a bag of rice is more than your minimum wage. It's not a country. It's a slave plantation. It's like a slavery plantation. And those who led you there, 40 million Nigerian workers, you were led into the slavish and slavery plantation by directionless, brainless, tactless buffoons parading themselves as your leaders. He is more interested in going abroad, flying here and there as NLC president, attending seminars that had no value to you. Your shege in Nigeria is now at the level of a pain that they have started calling Tinubu T-pain. T-pain. What the heck for the often time? Now, this is me feeling so bad for you, the Nigerian workers. And I remember telling all of you then that whatever it is that you are facing right now, this is just the beginning. It is going to get worse. It's not because, me, I don't have control over it. I'm just being honest with all of you. You do not have leadership. I'm more or less like the rest of you who are now going to watch your children. Imagine some of you are young workers, young workers in Nigeria, where your salaries, you are still being paid 30,000 naira minimum wage, right? That is if you ever get paid at all. Your children can no longer attend schools. Your children are going to be among the children that will never go back to school now. You can't afford their tuition. You can't feed them. You can't transport them to those schools. Talk less of you actually like paying for other things that they need. Some of you have medical problems, right? Health conditions. Now you are going to die slowly in the hands of T-Pain, Tinubu. So who is going to fight for you? Remember telling everybody that nobody is going to fight for you if you do not stand up to fight for yourselves. If you still think our leaders are, who are your leaders? You do not have any. At this point, this is not even like they are bribing your leaders. No. Your leaders have become so tamed, conquered. You do not have any. And if you're still keeping them for any obvious reasons, right? Fine. This is just the beginning. NLC and the NLC scribe all over Nigeria. Your president says he's been fooled. These are not negotiators. These are a bunch of, inconsequential, ineffective, incompetent, lackeys. The best for you is to get rid of them. And possibly, I don't even know if you do still have radical comrades in the NLC. Because as it stands, you are dealing with a dictator worse than military. And whatever you are served, take them. Because when you talk about NLC, there you have those who are like the workers like the health worker, no, maybe not health worker, yeah, health workers, and then you have the teachers and others, right? You are all under the Nigerian Labour Congress. Your Nigeria Labour Congress is not laboring anymore. You are actually like in a slave Congress. Put it that way. I want to feel sorry for you, but I will be pretending if I say I am sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. I don't actually feel pity for any of you. Because you make up the population of Nigerians, right? Who have the numbers to face these criminals. But somehow, you have been conquered. You have been defeated. You have been destroyed. Your self-esteem have been eroded. And at this point, you are all just existing for existence sake. So those who are like pensioners, or those of you who are still looking forward to become pensioners, listen to me. With the Nigeria that these guys are forcing on you is the one that is going to kill you. If it does it sharp, faster, that would be great. It's going to be done to you slowly. A lot of you are dying slowly, complaining of hunger. Imagine person will get job, we see they hungry. What about those who don't get job? Because when I look at those who have jobs, who claim to have jobs, whose take-home pay can never take them home. I have seen many. You have turned to beggars. Your children are out of school. Their lives, you are watching all of this. And yet, you have no kind of confidence to face these criminals because your leaders are negotiating. They don't talk about, at this point, you are on your own. What do you think 70,000 minimum wage will do you now? How much do you really think? Even if they pay you 250,000 naira. So I read it this afternoon that Tinubu has now agreed that don't worry that we haven't paid you now, we'll pay. They will backdate it to July. No, it has to be backdated to May. That's another deceit they are giving to you. They are telling the Nigerian workers right now that it doesn't matter. The agreement was signed in May, okay? So even if they no pay you till December, anytime we don't want to pay you, they will backdate them. That's another one they are using now to hold you down so that you don't want to spoil it, Abby. Well, they've come up with another one this evening, not afternoon, this evening. They said Tinubu has agreed to backdate it, even though this is September. Don't worry, damn new minimum wage. They go add them from July, so it will be like an arrears. I saw a few of them online where they were consoling themselves, Nigerian workers. They say, "Oku yawoni, na mama bury body. Them go bury him. Even if they don't pay us now, another government will come in and they will pay all the arrears." It was not out how Bokwari managed to bamboozle you for 8 years so that you could make up the number of the population within that poverty capital of the world. They see we get job, they look wretched, poorer. And then, unfortunately, the same Nigerian workers who have now, because sometimes you'll be wondering, like, this money can't really pay any bill. How are you doing it? They are all corrupt too. When you look at them, they're different fields, right? They take it on the general public. When you walk into government parastatals, government agencies, where you are supposed to go and transact a normal business, I need a birth certificate. You begin to see them doing racketeering, falsifying papers, falsifying figures. You'll be wondering, but they don't pay these people now. How come where did they get money from? Because they are all criminals too, looting and then falsifying documents. So they will tell you will meet Nigerian workers, government workers. They will say, me, I know they spend my salary. I know my way. I don't spend my salary. How much is my salary? My salary is just 175,000 naira. Shana, that one I go take care of my family. So they are part of the system, the rotten system, right? And guess what? The politician seems to know that. That all this salary, that all of us are shouting. Average Nigerian worker is a criminal that will always, manipulate the system, not change the system in order to further enrich themselves. They will even tell you, Nigerian civil service or civil servants, they are called evil servants, by the way. Nigerian civil servants, if you see some of them, they'll be wearing one oversized jacket. Some will be wearing, some oversized skirts and all of that, dressing somehow. But they are a bunch of criminals within the system. They don't mind. They say, but they never paid their salary for the past 6 months. How long are they take feeding yourself? How have you been able to pay your bills? Because they have been managing criminally. They have been shortchanging the system. And that is why I think, as it stands, a lot of you prefer that instead of going out to face these criminals, you rather just wait it out, since you can shortchange the system. The system, your salary is not what you are spending, right? Right. Anyway, we are going to go to Edo State. Quick one, right? The thing don't get utter in Edo. But the guy who is not contesting, but trying to save his ass. Let me tell you something about Nigerian criminal politicians, okay? Whenever election is coming like this, that will be the time that you see them fight for their lives. And why? They need to cover their asses, okay? I have not really seen much of Aswe. Abiana, I swear. So I've not seen much of him. But I've seen a lot of Obaseki, Obadonkey. That's kind of what we're going to call him now. It kind of look like a donkey though, right? So Obadonkey, as he has been everywhere. He's issued so many threats. In fact, it looks like more or less that he's the one running that wants to be the governor again, but he's not. The reason is this. When you run a system, when you run a state in Nigeria, you are automatically supposed to end up in jail. But what they do usually is that they always fight for their own successor. The reason why they fight for their successor is not because they want to sustain what they have done, because what have they done? They have to loot and deplete their own people. They lie that government can't do everything at once. That's what they say, especially to their voluntary slaves, the ones that will defend them by all means. Government cannot do everything, right? So rather than let the people choose or judge based on what you have done, they will go to the bottom of the heart to ensure that there's somebody that will cover their ass, succeed them, or else their opposition may end up sending them to jail or making it difficult for them to enjoy their loot. Obaseki is fighting for his life, and I can understand. He is the guy who said that the election in Edo State is do or die affair. You are not running, mister. You've done your time. Why should the election be do or die affair? Obadonkey said, well, it is because those who are trying to come and take over the state from him, they don't love Edo. He loved Edo so much, and he's done so much. However, it's a do or die affair because this is not just about an illiterate Okpebolo. What's that one's name? Okpebolo, whatever. Anyway, so they said that Okpebolo is not the problem of those behind him, because they will deal with him. Obadonkey. Don't take offense. So if you want to take offense, maybe you take offense, knock your head for gate and all of that. I've been kind of, trying to not. Anyway, I don't care now. So Obadonkey was on our seat. Like I said, he's not the one contesting, by the way, but he's the one everywhere. So Shewan got a hold of him yesterday. And he was like, why would you say the election is do or die affair? I said, listen, this guy that could barely express himself is being pushed by the former governor, another thief, Oshiomole. Oshiomole, who is also a senator, is a godfather, right? And Oshiomole has brought the federal might to Edo State to make sure that whatever it takes, everything that it takes, Obadonkey and his own godson, I swear, they would leave the Osadebe House. Is that the name of the government house in Edo? Osadebe House. Anyway, so he said he's done so much, he's done so well, that he realized that the Nigerian police is working for the APC. Can you imagine? APC candidate is using the Nigerian police helicopter to campaign. That tells you all you need to know. Okay, and what they are up against. He said that Oshiomole has two APC This time is not the party. It is armored personnel carrier. War no deal, but they carry APC. According to him, they have 2 APC protecting Oshiomole's property in Edo. Why would they do that? It's because they want to come and take this state by force. Hey, you've done 8 years, right?